What's up, you guys? Welcome to the January 1st, 2021 edition of 3-Ball presented by Established and Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher, wishing you a very happy new year as we talk a little bit of the New Year's Eve action with some news. Bang this puppy out in 10 minutes. Hit us with the subscribe, thumbs up, comment. Let's do 2021 how I always want to do it, talking basketball. And we're going to the Pacers depth chart again because TJ Warren, he's going to miss a significant portion of the regular season after he had surgery to correct a stress fracture in his left foot. It's a navicular bone fracture. You may have remembered that for a lot of big men. Yao Ming and stuff have had that injury before. Not good. So, I mean, he's droppable, but we saw Aaron Holiday, as expected, start, and then Victor Oladipo bump over. Doug McDermott had a big impact in the first half, but really the big winners here are going to be Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon to agree, particularly Sabonis, based on the splits. Last year, with him on the court, Warren, he was 18, 13, and 5. Without him, he was 22, 14, and 6. This year, so far, small sample, 26, 13, and 5. Again, pick and roll, Brogdon, Sabonis pick and roll is this offense and how it functions. So those two guys are going to crush, especially now with Warren out of the picture. Also, just like yesterday, we are going back to the Spurs depth chart, but this time we have good news because Derrick White is off the injury report and he will play after a summer toe surgery. Don't forget, this guy was ridiculous in the bubble, 19, 14, and 5 in 30 minutes per game, playing on ball a lot next to DeJounte Murray. We'll take a little bit of playmaking chances away from Murray, but I don't really care. Murray's still been so good offensively and so good in steals and boards, so he's still going to be a beast. So the thing that's different about this situation versus in the bubble is because Keldon Johnson was his backup in the bubble. Now that Keldon put on his 8 pounds of muscle, he's been playing the 4, guarding Pascal Siakam, Zion, AD, Kyle Anderson, all these 4s, he's the 4. So I don't think it'll affect Keldon as much as it's going to affect Lonnie Walker. It will, though, because we know DeMar can play the 4. They're really thin at the front court. This is going to probably take Devin Vassell out of the rotation. But, yeah, definitely don't worry about Keldon. Lonnie, if he has a bad game, I'm going to keep on a pretty short leash. But definitely keep Keldon in your good graces. And still, LaMarcus Aldridge is questionable with that knee injury. For good news, as expected, we get Draymond Green back today after his foot injury kept him out for quite some time, the whole season to date, training camp as well. And yeah, we should see him out there, maybe some minutes limit. This is awesome news for Steph. If you look at Steph's splits over the course of his career, it's a wide gap of his on-off efficiency with Draymond. Sure, some of it's because of Durant and Clay and that stuff, but it's like 6, 7, 8% most seasons. That's not, being with different players. It's Draymond. The Draymond Steph pick and roll game is nasty. So big boost for Steph. Steph's playing pretty well. A lot of ball action in his hands. So he'll be going back to doing the Steph things and playing off ball more. So great to see that. We love this. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Dre probably has some minute limits, but that'll take Toscano Anderson and Eric Paschall down a peg as well. But Jerry Mason plays in 5 too. Lots of basketball action to talk about. Already hit the Pacers, who beat the Cavs by 20. Cavs had a lot of foul trouble for both Andre Drummond and JaVale McGee. But yeah, no Kevin Love, the sex land, man. It's a great place to live these days, and the output has been there. Certainly buying both of them, especially with Kevin Love out of the mix. Larry Nance just been what a stat stuffer this guy is, and Drummond bad foul trouble, but he'll be all right. Wizards drop another one. They're 0-5 now. You hate to see it. Westbrook did get a triple double though, guys. Rui Hachimura made his season debut. Was supposed to play 20 minutes. Played 25. Scott Brooks said after the game he could have played him even more. Interesting to see after his conjunctivitis, a.k.a. pink eye. Bench killed him. That was the big issue. They didn't have anything going until Howell Neto got it going late. They went to Mo Wagner because they needed sort of a spark offensively, not necessarily charges. And Brooks said after the game that his team's forcing shots. He said he's still very confident in the group, but he knows they could play better. And he thought Rui would have had a great game, called him a freak athlete. And like I said, he's said maybe he can get a few more minutes tomorrow. Don't forget, Russell Westbrook's not going to play on Friday with the back-to-back rest. Bradley Beal, again, baller, man. He has a 34 usage rate with Westbrook on the court. He's awesome. And Thomas Bryant, breakout game, baby. 28 points, Fuego. Love to see it. He should be rolling. Believe in him. Moving to the Bulls, who get this W. Otto Porter played 31 minutes. Was really surprised by that. And Thaddeus Young, 27. After the game, Donovan said he wants to maybe even run some offense through Thaddeus Young. He said he was impressed how he plays through fatigue. So really eye-catching debut for Thaddeus Young. And given how we're not going to have Laurie, Ryan Arcidiacono, Thomas Satoransky, and Chandler Hutchison again, and then maybe Otto Porter sits with the back-to-back rest. I mean, they may have to really lean on Thad after his infection kept him out. Also, Daniel Gafford was really good. After the game, Donovan said that he was great on both ends and he could have, quote, very easily closed the game with how he was playing. Gave him credit for staying ready. So looks like he has that backup job locked down. So, 18, 20 minutes. Maybe if Wendell Carter Jr. is a little bit banged up from that hip injury that he had and was able to return from, possibly see some minutes from him. Kobe White passed the ball great. Zach LaVine really had some more ball handling responsibilities with the lack of depth behind him. So all good, but this was against the Wizards, so take it with a grain of salt. Clap your hands, everybody. Philadelphia got the win. They made the Magic's winning streak disappear. No undefeated teams this season. And Ben's been rough. Ben hasn't shot the ball well. Coming into the game, he's only been 28.6% on shooting off drives. That has to come up. But the other stats are there. We kind of knew the other stats were going to be there. I expect him to get it going. Hit a three along with Dwight Howard in the same game, unicorn game. But Tobias had a little injury early, looks fine. Seth Curry, we knew this was going to be a thing. He's so good in this offense. And the Magic, big yikes on death. We had Terrence Ross did not play in this game with that hamstring injury. He hurt in the last game and returned from it. So it sounds minor. Day-to-day, he should be back soon. Evan Fournier had back spasms, did not return, was really in a lot of pain, tried to play through it, called for a sub, got pulled, and it was a full-on who he played for with Kareem Mann getting out there to find minutes. So if you even know who that is, massive props to you. Cole Anthony also had some overlap with Markelle Fultz for the first time. 7 minutes of overlap, that's obviously due purely because of lack of depth. Chuma Okeke also got dinged up too. Don't know the extent of that injury. And Aaron Gordon still has that hardcore minutes cap. Blowout, not playing well. So buy low if you play season long. Get Aaron Gordon on the cheap probably. Moving to the Kings. Rashawn Holmes cleaning up with 36 minutes. Totally iced out Hassan Whiteside. Really bad matchup for Whiteside against Christian Wood and the Rockets' 5-out offense. Regardless, it's not looking great for Whiteside. He's hitting single-digit minutes on the regular now. But yeah, and also on the backside of that too, Tyrese Halliburton is taking minutes from him because the Kings are playing smaller. They're playing Marvin Bagley at the 5. They're playing smaller at the 4. So they're going to have guys to take Whiteside out of this mix. And Tyrese Halliburton, stat line wasn't great, but man, he made some big plays. That's what this kid does. He's so freaking good. Big game for Harry B. De'Aaron Fox getting aggressive. Love to see that too. Buddy Hield getting it going early. Didn't really finish too strong, but he's taking a ton of threes, 15 threes. Moving to the Rockets, John Wall made his debut, and he was chucking early. He had the 13. He was outpacing Harden by shots by a lot early on. Obviously, Harden swung it back, but I thought Wall looked great, man. Running up and down the court, moving really well, getting by guys, running out in transition, everything you want to see from John Wall. He's going to have to get a jump shot to click to work with Harden, but overall, you should feel pretty good about how John Wall performed. We'll probably have some rest and stuff, but again, encouraging stuff. DeMarcus Cousins looked really great in his first stint. Didn't do much in the second half. Christian Wood's a baller. And we stand for our unselfish sneaker king with PJ Tucker. 32 minutes, 0 usage rate, 3 steals, 2 blocks. What a PJ Tucker, man. So it looks like, if Tucker just doesn't take shots, maybe Wood could still get low 20s usage rate and still smash. Again, Wood's just, so many people can't cover him. Harden's going to be a beast. This team's going to have a lot of high-end fantasy players on it. The Raptors beat the Knicks and did so without Pascal Siakam because he had fouled out in the last game. About 17 seconds left. Walked straight to the locker room, and Nick Nurse said it was a discipline thing for an internal matter. That's the decision we went with, so we're just going to leave it at that. Sounds like they're done with it. And also, Nick Nurse thinks Aaron Baines is okay. Took a shot to the face, and he just went with Alex Len and Chris Boucher late. So Boucher's minutes got up there because of that. Kind of a discouraging stat line with all that playing time. Bad OG game. Great Norman Powell game. Love to see that. And then Fred VanVleet also balled out. Lowry does Lowry things too. Knicks went 336 on threes. Hilarious. Started to make any threes. And Julius Randle had a cramp in his calf. Should be okay. We had Alistair Rivers return, play some point guard too, so interesting to see that. Not a big story though. Pelicans beat the Thunder with a lot of really good play from the backcourt. Eric Bledsoe, Stan Van Gundy said he liked how he was attacking, and he also mentioned how he liked Lonzo Ball was driving and kicking out, and they're basically trying to drill that into him to make him attack more to help his assists. We've seen his potential assists be really, really low. Nickeil Alexander-Walker got 7 first half minutes, and then he got a little bit more in the second half because Brandon Ingram got ejected. Asked about Alexander's play, he says his key to success is letting him coach play, so something to see with that. Suns get another win. Mikal Bridges is so good on both ends. Held Donovan Mitchell in check again. Mitchell's been just terrible on drives, shooting worse than Ben, missing wide open shots, so another tough game for Mitchell. Back-to-back for him. He'll look to bounce back. But back to the Suns. Booker had a good game. Jay Crowder's hot all of a sudden after the slow start, and this team's playing really well. Cam Johnson the playing time's not going to be there, especially with Crowder playing as well as he has been. But so he's more of a drop in season long. So that's it. You guys have a happy new year, and we will catch you next time.